agenda is to know about his own victory. So indirectly he is pointing out, Sri Krishna is pointing out, okay, you have something else in your mind, you want to see, all that you are going to see. There is a very good, very interesting, in fact, there's a beautiful Christian prayer in which says, Almighty God, from whom no secrets are hid, from whom no thoughts are hid, from whom all secrets are known to him. Sri Krishna knows about it. See, he is still in the process of seeing that Arjuna goes to war with full confidence. That's a very important factor. See, anybody who embarks on any adventure with a lot of doubt and trepidation or fear is bound to fail. So what is required is the tremendous sense of confidence to fight the war. So that is indicated here in this particular verse. That aspect is indicated here. It says, whatever else you want to see, all that also will be visible to you. I know what is in your mind. In your mind, you want to confirm through the cosmic form whether I am going to survive or not, or whether I am going to win the war or not. In fact, that's what he sees also. He sees all the great, the top four, Bhishma, Dronacharya, Krupacharya, Arjuna, Karna, and all of them, he sees that all of them are rushing into the mouth of the Vishwarupa after their death. Yeah, that's a nice one, Ramchandranji. Ramchandranji has quoted because of his background in Navy. He says, saying in military parlance is, win the war first and then go to battle. So to win the war inside you. So you have to win that war in your head first, and then you can go to the battle, you can go to fight the thing. Okay. So that is the thing of building that confidence. Building of that confidence is required, and therefore he says, okay, whatever desire you have, whatever things you want to see, you see. Now then he comes to the other one where he says that I am going to give you divine eyes. Divine eyes here doesn't mean that a different set of eyes are given to him. It's actually an elevation of the consciousness of Arjuna to a higher level. The implied meaning of divine eyes is also that. Divine eyes in the sense, these are not the regular physical eyes with which you are going to see any form of mind. You need divine eyes, and therefore you are going to be elevated to a level of consciousness where you can actually perceive these things in reality. So therefore he says that in order to behold my sovereign yoga, pashyame yogam aishwaram, in order to see that, I am going to give you divyam dadami te chakshuhu. I am going to give you the divine eyes, whereby your whole consciousness will be elevated to a level where you will be able to see everything in reality. This is the implication of it. And Aurobindo very beautifully says, you are now going to see a form which is beyond time in one way. Beyond the framework of time in which you are caught, and therefore you will be able to see the past, the present, and the future also. Binaji, please read the last part of that commentary. That commentary is not much. You can read it once again so that we can discuss it.
What thou hast to see, replies the avatar, the human eye cannot grasp. For the human eye can see only the outward appearances of things, or make out of them separate symbol forms, each of them significant of only a few aspects of the eternal mystery. But there is a divine eye, an inmost seeing, by which the Supreme Godhead in his yoga can be beheld, and the eye I now give to thee. It is the vision of the one in the many in the one, and all are the one. It is this vision that to the eye of the divine yoga liberates, justifies, explains all that is and was and shall be.
Yeah. You see, the point is, there are two important points in this commentary. He says you are going to see the many in the one and the one in the many. So this this unified form, cosmic form of mind, you will see a myriad things, a million things in that. But essentially, all that is one. So you are seeing the many in the one and the one in the many. So you see the elevation of consciousness. Elevation of consciousness implies primarily your ability to see unity. Your ability to see unity in everything. If you remember, in some other context, when we were discussing this subject, I said that the first thing that happens when you are able to reach the buddhic level of consciousness, in the Vijnanamaya Kosha, you are going to see two things. One, you are going to experience two things. One is the unity of everything. The other thing is immediate and direct perception of the truth. The word immediate is not necessarily from the point of view of time only. The word comes from that which does not need any mediation. Nobody needs to mediate it, and therefore it is immediate. That means there is nothing between you and that reality through which you need to see. There is nothing seeing through something, but seeing it directly. That's the pratyaksha anubhuti. Pratyaksha means both direct and immediate. The implication is that in both in time and space, you will see at one stroke, you experience the unity of it and the directness of all knowledge that is available to you. You don't need any instrumentality to perceive that truth. So that is the level of consciousness to which Arjuna is elevated. So he'll be able to see this duality. And the other thing he is mentioning is that whatever doubts you had earlier, all the explanation and justifications you need are provided here. Whatever has remained unexplained to you, whatever you could not otherwise comprehend through the earlier discourse of 10 chapters which I have given to you, whatever doubts about this you had, how do you justify killing kinsmen? How do you justify killing so many people? All that justification also is found here. And you will also be that explanation and that justification and that knowledge and that revelation is going to liberate you. You will be free from all doubts, free from everything, and you are essentially free now to act. And all action will be in accordance with the divine will. There is no personal will now. Those are the three terms that are used. Can you read once again? Apart from was, is, and will be, he has used four terms: justification, explanation, liberation, and one other term.
So there's something in the chat as well you might want to see.
Hello. Yeah. What does he say, Binaji?
So
Justification
is a
almost last two lines.
Yes. It is this vision that to the eye of the divine yoga liberates, justifies, explains all that is and was and shall be.
Right. So that is the whole idea. That is the justification. Okay. That is the justification and explanation, and liberates. It liberates you. All that was, is, and will be. That means you are in a dimension of time, or you are actually in a timeless dimension where you are able to see all the three aspects of time in one continuum. The past, present, and future appears as one continuum. And that liberates you. The whole purpose is that with this, you are not supposed to have any further doubts at all. You will not need any explanations. You will not need any justification for your actions. You will not need anything else, and it is going to liberate you. That is the implication of it. That is the beauty of a saint of the caliber of Sri Aurobindo, who reveals us these things, which are not apparent just by reading the verse or the commentary or the translation of the verse. So these things have to be, we have to bear this in mind. The state of the consciousness and the state of awareness of Arjuna, there he still carries some amount of that residual doubts are there, residual aspects are there. So that is what is clarified here. Okay. And there is one chat here from Ramchandranji. Whatever you want to see, would this also mean we drop that I am formless? No, sir. Ramchandranji, it's not true that way. See, if you remember, we discussed this aspect of Brahma, Ishvara, and Jiva. Sri Krishna as an avatara represents that Ishvara. Only the Brahman is formless. So, whatever you want to see obviously means you will only see that which has some form for manifestation at the Ishvara level, at the Atmic level, at the interface which crosses the boundary of Maya. So, you can't see the formless. The formless is something which is like one cannot show it to anybody. No artificial mechanism of elevating consciousness is going to allow you to see the formless. The formless is what you come to and you become that. Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati. A Brahmavid, a knower of the Brahman, becomes Brahman. Here, the duality, the division still exists. Arjuna represents the Jiva, Sri Krishna represents the Ishvara. And he is showing him the Vishwarupa. There is a form which is cosmic in nature. So that's what is being shown here. Bina ji, is it clear, Ramchandran ji?
Sir, thank you.
Okay. Next, Bina ji says, so the ego sees with the physical eye. We need to move to seeing differently which can only happen when we drop the ego. Obviously, see, dropping the ego is not, see, in this particular case, it is temporarily kept aside. There is no dropping of ego by Arjuna on his own. His effort is not there. That state of consciousness is provided by Sri Krishna. Because later, see one thing we have to remember. Later, you can see several phases where Arjuna, his ego is quite manifest. See, one thing, Bina ji, one fundamental aspect we have to recognize in all us is, when you are involved in some serious action, you cannot do that action without ego.
Yeah, that's true.
So, ego is an essential factor, even if you are doing divine work, because it gives a kind of impetus and motivation to perform the divine will so that you take an active participation in the whole process. Okay, so it's only a temporary setting aside. Why is Arjuna called lotus-eyed? What is the actual significance? Lotus-eyed, everybody is called, all devas, devis and devatas, everybody is called as lotus-eyed. See, lotus as a symbol is something unique. Lotus, see, water, earth represents physical presence. Water represents astral presence. Okay. Astromental. It's astral means astromental.
Okay.
So the lotus is, the roots are in the mud. The stem is in the water. But the actual flower is in the air. So it is operating through three aspects of the five elements, leaving aside Agni and Akasha. Is operating. And it is also symbolically represented as going beyond the earth and the astromental state and working at the buddhic level.
Okay. Okay.
That is the symbolism of lotus. And lotus has got that beauty also. Neither the flower nor the leaf, water cannot stick to it. Water doesn't actually wet the lotus leaf or even the, just a minute please. So that symbolism is there as far as lotus is concerned, and the lotus individual petal of the lotus, if you see the shape, it appears like an eye. It appears like an eye. No, at the end of it, it is there's a sharp end. At the beginning, it is small, and it is big. Lotus-eyed also means one who has big eyes. One who has got big eyes. Big eyes again represent that your ability to see better. If you have big eyes, it doesn't mean physically big eye. It means your ability to see much better and beyond the normal. If somebody says large-hearted, it doesn't mean that his heart is enlarged or something like that. So the lotus-eyed is a symbol that is used in all the stotras. Every devi or devata is called as. In fact, if you see somebody like Tulsidas, he compares the eyes, the hands, the feet, everything to lotus. There is a, I forget that, there is this, what is that? Bhavabhaya Darunam, Karakanja Mukhakanja, Padakanja Kanja Arunam, he says. Karakanja means the palm also is like a lotus, because it is red in color. The feet are like lotus feet also. Mukhakanjakam. He says it is even the face and the eyes are also compared to the lotus. Kam means water. Ja means born out of water. Kamja also means a lotus. The lotus has so many meanings, so many words in the Sanskrit literature, like Niraja, Toyaja, Ambuja, Jalaja, Varija. There are so many of these things are there. So many of these terms are there, born out of this water. So that's how it is described. So it has a poetic significance and also some esoteric significance as to the lotus. And we have this our own School of Ancient Wisdom Trust. It is again that jewel in the lotus. Jewel in the lotus is a Buddhist this thing of Om Mani Padme Hum.
Yeah.
Mani Padma. I am like the jewel in the lotus.
Okay.
Padma also means a lotus.
Okay.
So Krishna is actually in his fullness even in the physical plane, but we cannot see him in his completeness because of our lack of daya. We are unable to see that. So can we say that enlightened ego at the manifest level? Yeah, it is enlightened where the ego is, as I said, temporarily set aside completely. When the consciousness is elevated, obviously the ego of the person is totally subdued and becomes irrelevant at that level of consciousness.
Correct.
Then only you can see the divine consciousness. Okay. This answers the questions. Okay. Then shall we move on to the other shlokas? See, and a very interesting thing happens here. The next 6 shlokas are by Sanjaya. Sanjaya is addressing these 6 shlokas to Dhritarashtra. He is telling Dhritarashtra what actually is happening there or happened already. So he is conveying through the next 6 shlokas the whole process that is happening. Okay. And here the beauty is, in one way, Sanjaya is able to see the cosmic form for description purposes, but the level of consciousness of Dhritarashtra remains at the human level only, at the normal level only. His consciousness could have also been elevated, but that opportunity he lost because at one point of time it was given to him. If you see in the Mahabharata, Sri Krishna goes as a messenger, as an ambassador of peace, to settle this dispute between the Pandavas and the Kauravas, and goes on to offer, saying that you just give them 6 villages, 5 villages. Give them 5 villages, that is enough. They will manage. Because for a Kshatriya, he needs some base. After that, through his own prowess and valor, he can conquer whatever territory he wants to conquer. So Duryodhana knew about it, and Duryodhana therefore said, I am not even going to give land equal to a needle point also, because I don't want them to have a base. Because if they have a base, they will again create a large army and then fight against me. So he knew the strategy of Krishna when he says give them 5 villages. That means you are going to have sovereignty over those 5 villages, and from there you are going to start your building up of army and strategy. And then, because he is mortally afraid of these people. Duryodhana is mortally afraid of all the Pandavas and Arjuna in particular. That was the reason why he brought in Karna to become his partner and an ally. So when he goes as an ambassador of peace, Duryodhana, along with his 99 brothers, plans to capture Sri Krishna. He says, we'll make him, we'll bind him, and we'll capture this fellow. Then Sri Krishna sees that all these Kauravas are simply put to sleep. And then he reveals his divine form to Bhishma, Drona, Krupacharya, not Ashwathama, I think Vidura and Dhritarashtra. All these 5 people could see his divine form at that time. You see how one's own karma and one's own false identification with a dharma is going to lead to their own destruction. See, Bhishma was the commander-in-chief to start with. Then Dronacharya became the commander-in-chief. Then Krupacharya was, then Karna was there. Then all these people were shown. See, don't try to get into this war. Somehow convince this fellow to stop this war because he is going to be destroyed. And to prove that point, I am showing my divine cosmic form to you. Not the total cosmic form, but he reveals himself in such huge dimensions so that they know the true form of Krishna, the true nature of Krishna. At that time, Dhritarashtra had seen this form, though he was blind. Though he was physically blind, he was shown that form. At least that should have made him realize that we can't fight this man when he's on their side. We can't fight him. Bhishma also knew about it. Dronacharya also knew about it. Dhritarashtra was shown that form. Vidura is a great saint. He also could see, and he was the only one who was advising these people to desist from going on with the war. And he is the one who goes on counseling Dhritarashtra. Whenever he could find an opportunity, he was counseling him and giving his advice and revealing so many aspects of dharma. There's a Vidura Niti. And in the Udyoga Parva, you have the Mahabharata, you have a long discourse between Dhritarashtra and Vidura. But everything was of no avail. Bhishma had a wrong sense of dharma. Dronacharya has another agenda of his own. Dhritarashtra was hoping against hopes that somehow or the other my sons are going to win. And he has a peculiar name also, Dhritarashtra. That means one who holds the Rashtra. He never held the Rashtra. He never held the nation. He held on to his progeny. He held on to his eldest son. That is the Vyamoha. That is the delusion in which people live. I have also seen people, especially when they grow old, they think about my sons will take care of me. My eldest son is going to perform my last rites and all. It's all nonsense. Hold on to dharma. Don't hold on to progeny. Don't hold on to property. Don't hold on to people. It's only holding on to dharma which is going to protect you. Dharmastam anugacchati. Only dharma will follow you. None of them will follow you. Whoever comes, suppose when I die, the maximum they come to is the crematorium only, not beyond that. After that, everybody will return home. Nobody comes with you. It's not possible, and it's not meant for that. So you see, one has to understand this. Therefore, here Sanjaya was given that opportunity to see the divine form, which if Sri Krishna wanted, he could have shown it to Dhritarashtra also, but he said, no, this fellow I have already shown him, and there was no reaction. There was no proper thing. The very first verse of the Bhagavad Gita, there he says, Mamakaha. He says, my children. Dharmakshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveta, Yuyutsavaha. Mamakav Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya, he says. What are my sons and the sons of Pandu are doing? He is actually the head of the family. He is the elder brother of Pandu. So when his younger brother is no longer there, he should treat them like his own children. And therefore, the commentary of Radhakrishnan makes out a beautiful case here. He says, Mameti kayantiti mamakaha avidya purushaha. He gives a beautiful this thing. He says, Mameti kayanti. He says, mine. Kayanti means to go on saying. There are two terms in Sanskrit called kai and gai, which means shabde. That means going on making noise, going on saying mine. And he calls them as avidya purushaha. They are avidya purushaha. They are people who are steeped in ignorance. The word mamakaha, the elaboration of that word is given as mameti kayantiti mamakaha. So you are going on saying, my children, my children, my children, my children. What my children? Whoever holds on to dharma and whoever holds on to the truth of the matter, he is your person closest to you. So that is that is where all delusion and illusion and your raga dvesha, everything comes into that. So at the beginning itself, he uses this term mamakaha, mamakaha, my children, what are they doing? What are they doing? I want to know. And Pandavas. So me and the not me. This division is created right at the beginning in his mind. That's why he is unable to give up. Even after everybody is dead, he wants to take revenge against Bhima. Because he was the one who killed his eldest son. There's an interesting story where he tries to crush him in his arms. Sri Krishna creates a what do you call as a metal Bhima and presents before him, and he crushes the metal. So he's not an ordinary being. He's a tremendously powerful man, except that he is blind. So then he says, oh, so you are still there, Sri Krishna, to protect them. And you have cheated a blind man. He says, you can't. Sri Krishna very clearly says, as long as I am there, Pandavas will always be safe and nothing can be done because they are on the side of Dharma. The Mahabharata has got so much of esoteric significance. If you see, the Mahabharata starts with a dog and ends with a dog. I'll not go into that now. That we can discuss, that story we can discuss in a different context. The whole of Mahabharata starts with a dog and ends with a dog. The dog is your Yamadharma, Raja. He is the one who is loyal to you and he will always follow you. Dharma will follow you. Yeah, even our children do not want to touch our body once we kick. Then why so much attachment? Only Dharma. Yeah, yes, sir. Ramchandra ji, you are true. They may weep for some time or cry for some time and feel bad for some time, but there is a Hyderabadi Urdu poet who is known for his pun. He says, "Itna bhi ukdo mat, aaj mere to kal dusra din hai." If you die today, there will be after 24 hours, it will be the second day of your death. After 10 days, it will be the 10th day. After that, everybody is back to normal, and then things happen. And that's good also. Let's not hold on to things. Let's not hold on to things, even if somebody is close to you, very dear to you also. It's not important to hold on to somebody physically or thinking only of them, because you already have a karmic link with such people. And that karmic link is going to anyway work out. So the next, shall we stop here? If there are any points to discussion, because I don't want to start the verses 9 to 14 are there.
Yeah.
9 to 14, we can take it up later. In the next session, it's already 11:29. If there is any particular point,
I want to clarify.
Yes.
See, even after showing Vishwarupa, if people do not change. So we talk so much about destiny and free will.
Correct.
So this is an example of finally how destiny is overriding destiny.
No, see, destiny is not equated to karma. Karma is a condition. It is not destiny. Karma, what happens is see, in our philosophical discourse, karma represents two things. It represents action and also the consequence of action. That's why when you are
Like
suffering the
yesterday,
consequence.
let me clarify my point.
Yeah.
Yesterday, that lady who died in that capital in Washington,
Yeah. Yes.
she traveled all the way from Santiago. Okay, housewife and Trump supporter.
To die
So
there.
that means it's a question of finally death draws one
Yes.
towards the end.
Yeah. You know that I used to narrate that story of a meeting called for by Vishnu and all the Dikpalakas are coming there. There's an interesting story which says that Vishnu called for a meeting in Vaikuntha with all the 8 Dikpalakas, all Indra, Yama, Varuna, everybody was to attend the meeting, and everybody was coming and entering. And outside Vishnu's Mercedes was there, Garuda. Garuda was sitting, and just beside Garuda there was a small bird also sitting there. So Yama, while entering, he stops for a minute and looks at the small bird. And with a puzzled face, he walks into the meeting. Garuda observes this. Then he says, this fellow seems to have cast his eye on this small bird, and this bird is going to die. I have to somehow protect this bird. And being Garuda, he carries this small bird on its shoulders and takes him the thousands of kilometers away and deposits this bird in a cave. And comes back and is back in his place in Vaikuntha. So after the meeting is over, Yama comes out and he keeps searching for the bird. Then Garuda says, yeah, I know. You were when you entered, then itself I could sense that this bird was you are planning to kill this bird. So I made arrangements to carry it thousands of kilometers away, and I have hid it in a cave. Then Yama says, you are such a bloody fool. What I was wondering at that time is that after a few hours, this bird is supposed to die thousands of miles away from here. How the hell is this bird going to travel all this distance in the next couple of hours? You have facilitated the whole process now, and obviously you put it where it is supposed to die. So similarly, he's from all the way, you need to come to San Diego to Washington to die. So that process will always be there.
Actually, it's a very good one.
Yeah. So that is what exactly happens. That's what exactly happens. And I have seen live cases also of a gentleman wanting to travel to Chennai. In those days, I am talking about almost 40-50 years when we were young. He missed the train in Hyderabad station. He took a taxi to go to Secunderabad station and get into it. There also he missed the train. Then he went another 100 kilometers, maybe about 60-70 kilometers. There's a station called Bhongir. He tried to go catch there. He couldn't do it. Finally, he got hold of the train in Jangaon, a small station there. And next 15 minutes, the train was involved in a crash. And this fellow was there in that compartment, which fell into the ditch. It was a small kind of bridge, and the bridge was broken, and this fellow fell into it, and he died. So you chase your death. If you are bound to die, he made it a point to chase the train almost for about 100-150 kilometers to get into it and die in the next 15 minutes. So that's what happens. We don't understand the divine will, and then stop where we are supposed to stop. We don't do it. We chase it thinking that we are eternal and we are omnipotent and we can do anything and everything without understanding the divine will. So that's where the question of surrendering to his will comes. That's where your discrimination will also come into play, your viveka. All that is clouded by ignorance if we don't recognize it. Okay, sir. Anything else? Anybody else? Umeshji? Umeshji, anything to say from your side? Dr. Sana? We have so many. Manjulaji?
One more is moving and non-moving was a very good revelation.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, Umeshji.
हाँ जी. just I'm kind of curious to know when we talk about Vishwaswarupa, which was shown to Arjuna, where he could see all beings are rushing to his mouth, including the one with whom he is going to be in the battlefield, which means the incident that has not taken place, he could see that already.
Yes. Yes, that's what Aurobindo's commentary also says, no? What was, what is, and what will be is revealed to you.
So that same, he had shown the same Vishwaswarupa to others, and others did not see any of these, what Arjuna could see.
Yes. No, that was not the what was revealed to Dhritarashtra, Drona, Krupacharya, and others were not the Vishwarupa there. It was his enormous form. It was his form to tell them that none of you people are capable of even coming and touching me. Forget about binding me or tying me up, which was the plan of Duryodhana and his brothers.
Also, that was not his.
No, not the entire Vishwarupa, but enough to tell them what he is.
Okay.
See, a hint is given to them. You can't harm the Pandavas as long as I am there, and I am not protecting them out of any partiality. I am protecting them because they are on the side of Dharma. That's the only purpose. Yes.
Second point, you just said that when the sight was given does not mean that he had a new set of eyes, but his consciousness was elevated.
Right.
So, having consciousness elevated, why would he have a fear subsequently? And as it says that he was shaking.
Because it was given to him artificially. It was not something which he has naturally developed.
Oh, I see. It was a gift.
It was a gift, and that too temporarily. Why? Even if it were to be, even if he would say, I'll make it permanent, he is not capable. See, again, I am reminded of Professor Ravi Ravindra's statement. It's not a question of understanding, it's a question of withstanding.
That's true.
You should be, see, you are capable of taking only, say, about 40 volts of shock, and I give you 440 volts. You can't withstand, no.
True.
So 40 volts is your capacity to withstand any shock. Even that you will have a jolt. But 440 volts, you yourself will say, please withdraw.
True.
Anyway, to add, since Umesh asked, when Dhirubhai Ambani calls, we will be shivering in our necks. No, he has anyway met Dhirubhai Ambani.
That's true.
No, what you said is true. See, we are in a illusion and a state of mind where we are afraid of the mighty and the powerful in this world itself. So, what about a divine being calling you, and you see, as I said, after the Vishwarupa is over, and then when he is back, his ego is again attached to him. His ego is attached to him, and he is functioning in that level, at that level only.
So this whatever higher consciousness was withdrawn. It was, the memory was erased.
No, memory was there, but it's only a memory. It's no longer the same reality at which you have actually perceived it. That's what happens to us also. No, all our experiences are converted into memory, and the memory is normally weak and faint. And that is the reason why we want reinforcement of our experiences, and we crave for the same experience again and again and again and again, because the memory of that experience is not sufficient for us to sustain. You understand the point?
True.
Yeah, that is the reason. That is the reason why we indulge in every sensual desire is born out of repetition of that experience to reinforce our memory. It is the memory which wants this to be reinforced. Okay?
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, sir. So can we close,
Yes.
Bina ji?
Yes,
So
yes,
we'll
we can.
Yeah.
So thank you, everyone. And thank you so much, Krishnaphani ji. We are going to meet on Sunday for Atma Bodha.
Yes.
And that will be at 10 o'clock. And I just wanted to thank everybody who was there when my brother-in-law had a heart attack. He's doing much, much better. And another friend of mine, her son, he is 45 years old and he's had a heart attack. So can we, in the Loka Samasta that we do, can we just keep him in our thoughts? Yeah. Thank you so much.
Shall I do the Loka Samasta?
Yes, please.
No, I'm there. I'm here to
Oh,
do
you're
the
there.
Loka Samasta.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
Sajni.
Oh,
Sajni,
yeah. Sorry.
Sorry, even I. We joined later, I think.
Last time or something. Yeah. Yeah, please, Sajni ji. Sorry.
Sure, Sajni. Okay, take over, please.
Thank you so much, Mr. Krishnaphani ji, for this beautiful talk on the Vishwarupa Darshana. And now we will send out a lot of healing, Bina, to your brother-in-law, as well as to Nikhil. So I request everyone to kindly chant. You're on mute, but kindly chant, send a lot of love, light, and healing to both of them. Okay, so let's chant. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Hari Om. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
I'd like to tell you that tomorrow we are starting a series of 4 talks by Dr. Indra Bhangar. She will be talking on meditation, Dhyanam. She's spoken earlier at our satsang. She's extremely good. So we would like all of you to join us tomorrow from 10 to 11. And then this will be followed by another 3 sessions. I'd also like to tell you that Vani will be starting Sat Darshanam on the 23rd. That will be announced. And Dr. Hegde and his team from Param Vedanta, they will be doing 10 sessions on the fundamentals of Vedanta. So kindly look at all this. This will be all on our SOAW website, WhatsApp. Okay. So thank you, everyone. Have a great day and see you tomorrow at 10.
Sajni ji.
Yes.
Tomorrow is the School of Ancient Wisdom not hosting the that's on Sunday. No, this is on Saturday. Okay.
Hosting
Right.
what?
No, I was confused with the Atma Bodha thing. It's on Sunday and this is on Saturday.
Yes. Atma Bodha, Bina had already announced that is on Sunday.
This is on Saturdays.
This is on Saturdays, just 4 sessions. That's all. She'll be talking on states of consciousness and meditation. I think some of you have heard her before because she's done dream analysis earlier at our center. So thank you, everyone. We look forward to seeing you at all our programs.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye.